Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're opening up some really remarkable source material. It all focuses on this single, pretty intense idea from Buddhist philosophy that this human life, it's not an accident. It's this incredibly rare, maybe final chance for a huge spiritual victory.
Exactly. We're getting into the deep context of why we're here. The sources basically say we've forgotten our mission, this mission to win.
And what is that victory? What is winning here?
Well, winning is Nibbana. It's the complete eradication of what they call the three poisons: greed, hatred, and delusion. And the reason we forget, it's a kind of fundamental blindness, avidya.
Okay, so let's unpack that urgency, because the context for all this is samsara, this endless cycle of suffering and rebirth that we're just tumbling through.
Right. And the scale of it is terrifying. The sources say the tears we've shed across all our past lives, there are more of them than all the water in the ocean.
Wow, that really puts it in perspective.
It does, and it sets up this idea of how statistically impossible it is to even get this chance. The classic analogy is the blind turtle and the yoke hole.
I know this one. It's pretty staggering.
It really is. So you have this vast ocean, and there's a single wooden yoke floating on it, just one little hole. And at the bottom, there's a blind turtle that only surfaces once every 100 years.
So the chances of it popping its head through that one little hole are, practically zero.
Almost zero. And the sources are very clear. Getting a human life is even rarer than that.
It's almost paralyzing to think about. So what makes this life, this specific existence, the right one for making the effort?
It's the optimal middle ground. The heavens, for example, are too pleasant. There's just not enough friction to generate that necessary energy or virya.
And the lower realms.
Too much raw suffering. There's no space for wisdom to grow. Human life has this perfect balance of challenge and, stability.
Okay, so if this is our battleground, what's the plan? What's the strategy against this avidya?
It's called the threefold training, or tisika. It's virtue, concentration, and wisdom. And they build on each other. You have to start with the first one, your ethical base, sila.
Right, the virtue.
Yeah.
The sources describe this as being like the foundation of a building. It's about purifying your actions, your speech.
Yes, and that leads to something called non-remorse.
Which isn't just about feeling good, is it? It's about a kind of quietness.
Exactly. It's a quiet stability. Your mind isn't constantly being dragged back to mistakes or worrying about the future. And you need that stability for the second training, samadhi. Concentration.
And this is often developed with the breath, right?
Yeah.
I love the analogy they use for this. They say the scattered mind is like an open water tap, just wasting all this mental energy.
That's it. So samadhi is about learning to control that tap, to create a clear, steady flow.
But how do you do that without it feeling like you're just forcing it?
Yeah.
Trying too hard?
That's the key. It's not forcing the tap shut. It's channeling the flow. It's cultivation, not suppression. And once that mind is stable, once that flow is steady, then the final goal can happen. Panna, wisdom.
Insight. This is where vipassana meditation comes in.
It is. This is where you directly realize the three characteristics of existence. You see anicca impermanence. Everything, every thought, every sensation is changing moment to moment.
Okay.
Then you see how clinging to that changiness causes dukkha, or suffering. And finally, anatta. You realize there's no permanent self in charge of this whole flowing, changing stream.
And this isn't just an idea. The analogy here is tasting food. You can describe a meal all day.
But you don't know it until you actually taste it.
Right. So vipassana is how you taste the reality of impermanence, of not-self, in every single moment.
It's a direct, undeniable insight. And the warning they give is so stark. Don't be the trader who dies of thirst right before the river. This opportunity is just too rare to waste.
So how do you apply this? In the middle of a busy day, it seems the real victory is using our daily emotions, right? Anger, joy, whatever. Using them as the food for this practice. You just neutrally observe them rise and fall. You see the impermanence and not-self right there in real time. That's how you make every minute of this impossible life count toward the ultimate win.